They mocked her when she stood at the podium in her faded second-hand dress. Some parents in the audience snickered, whispering about how ridiculous it was for a nobody like her to even be speaking. A boy in the back muttered loud enough for others to hear, "She's just the cafeteria lady." And when the principal introduced her as Ms. Ramirez, who wanted to share a few words, the laughter grew louder. Maria Ramirez, 59 years old, had worked in the school cafeteria for over 2 decades. She'd served lunches with a smile, handed out apples, and sometimes slipped an extra cookie to kids who looked like they hadn't eaten at home. But today wasn't about lunch. Today was the annual Scholarship Assembly, an event where wealthy parents and donors were praised, and students with top grades were rewarded. Maria didn't fit in with the tailored suits and pearl necklaces that filled the auditorium. As she stepped up to the microphone, the whispers buzzed. "Why is the lunch lady talking? This is embarrassing. She can't even afford decent shoes." Maria took a shaky breath. She almost turned away. But then she reached into her worn purse and unfolded a letter. "I know most of you see me as just the woman who serves your kids' food," she began softly, "but I've watched them grow. I've seen their struggles. Some of them come through the line with empty eyes and empty stomachs. And I made a promise to myself years ago that if I ever had the chance to help, I would." The principal shifted uncomfortably. A few parents rolled their eyes, but Maria continued. She explained how for 25 years she had quietly been saving every spare dollar. She lived in a tiny apartment, rode the bus to work, and never bought new clothes. Most people thought it was because she was poor. The truth? She had been building a fund, every penny from side jobs, every dollar she could scrape together. Then she held up the letter. "This," she said, her voice trembling, "is confirmation from the district. Starting today, a new scholarship will be awarded every year in this school. It's called the Ramirez Promise, and it's for students who may not have the best grades, but who show kindness, resilience, and a will to fight through hardship." The room went silent. Maria wiped a tear and finished, "Because sometimes the ones who need the most help are the ones nobody notices, and I want them to know they are noticed." The principal's jaw tightened. Parents stared wide-eyed. But then, from the front row, a student stood and began clapping. Another joined, then another. Soon the entire auditorium was on its feet,
cheering, not for a wealthy donor, not for a politician, but for the cafeteria worker they had all overlooked. What no one realized until that moment was that Maria's scholarship fund wasn't small. After 25 years of saving, she had set aside over $250,000, enough to keep her promise alive for generations. The same people who once mocked her now shook her hand with tears in their eyes.
And the students? They swarmed her with hugs, calling her a hero. That day, the cafeteria lady who wore the same shoes for 10 years proved something far greater than wealth. Respect isn't about titles, degrees, or expensive suits. It's about sacrifice, kindness, and keeping your word. If you believe true wealth is measured in kindness, not money, like this video and share her story.